Now, the greatest radio shows of all time.
Suspense.
The Shadow Node.
Washington calling David Harding, Counter Spy.
Classic radio theater.
The Great Gildersleeve.
Fibber McGee and Molly.
Dragnet. Gunsmoke.
The Lone Ranger.
Now, step back into a time machine with your host, Wyatt Cox.
Good evening, friends of the Inner Sanctum.
We head back 75 years on this Sunday to March 27th, 1947, and an episode of the Crime Club, a mutual program, Silent Witnesses. Well, this will be interesting. Thanks for tuning in on this Sunday. This is the 27th day of March, 86th day of the year. We have 279 days left till we get to 2023. In 1513, explorer Juan Ponce de Leon sighted North America, specifically Florida, for the first time, mistaking it for another island. The government of the U.S. established a permanent navy on this date in 1794 and authorized the building of 6 frigates. In 1834, Andrew Jackson censured by the Senate for his actions regarding the U.S. National Bank. In 1836, Antonio Lopez de Santa Anna ordered the Mexican army to kill about 400 Texans at Goliad, Texas. In 1958, Nikita Khrushchev became premier of the Soviet Union. And in 1964, on this date, the Good Friday earthquake, the most powerful earthquake in U.S. history, at a magnitude of 9.2, struck south-central Alaska, killing 125 people and inflicting massive damage to Anchorage.
Alaska Warning Center calling all stations,
Again, we repeat, the entire port facility has just been wiped out. There simply isn't a port there anymore.
The quake has generated sea waves up to 30 to 35 feet, irregular time intervals. Is that correct?
Desperately needed at Providence Hospital.
Group, don't sit out in your car. Get under cover now.
All structural and architectural engineers for the U.S. District of Army Engineers are to report to room 111, the District of Engineers building at Olmsted.
The area is a major disaster area.
We received this report through the city manager here in Anchorage that both the oil tanks and docks are on fire at Seward.
It seemed as though we were suddenly one of the characters in the Old Testament in the fiery furnace. That just seems to me to about said it. It's plaster, debris, fire, and splinters, wooden chunks fell from the ceiling. We just felt that this was it.
A horrible day for the state of Alaska. If you've never seen any of the video footage or any of the photos of the Good Friday earthquake, I suggest that you search them. You will be shocked. It was on this date in 1968, Yuri Gagarin, Soviet cosmonaut, the first human in space, died in an aircraft training accident. 1 year later, 1969, Mariner 7, the second half of the first dual mission to Mars, was launched. The Concorde made its first supersonic flight on this date in 1970. In 1995, Academy Award presented to Tom Hanks for his portrayal of Forrest Gump.
My mom always said life was like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get.
Movie also took the Best Picture Award, Robert Zemeckis winning for Best Producer for Forrest Gump. Now, on this date in 1998, the Food and Drug Administration approved Viagra for use as a treatment for male impotence, the first bill to be approved for this condition in the U.S. And in 2000, at the Academy Awards, Kevin Spacey took the Best Actor honors and dedicated his award to his mentor, Jack Lemmon.
This is the highlight of my day. I hope it is not all downhill from here.
Lemmon would die the following year of cancer. Passing away on this date in history, Dudley Moore, also Billy Wilder, Irving R. Levine, journalist, Farley Granger, and Mother Angelica. Oh, and also passing away on this date, Milton Berle.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, introducing America's #1 television star, Milton Berle!
While Uncle Milty became best known for his television, he also did some good radio shows. Some of them not as good as others, but the 1947 run of shows that we air occasionally here on Classic Radio Theater were really, really good. Milton Berle passing away on this date in 2002. Born on this date in history, the man behind the Grand Canyon Suite, Ferdy Grofé, fine composer. From Sunset Boulevard, Gloria Swanson. Actor Richard Denning, whom you hear on My Favorite Husband, had quite a storied career. Also singer Sarah Vaughan, and the original fugitive on television, David Jansen. Happy birthday number 83 to racer Cale Yarborough. Pretty much retired by now, but he's still out there. Quentin Tarantino is 59. Mariah Carey, 53. From Lost, Elizabeth Mitchell is 52. From Castle, Nathan Fillion is 51. From the Black Eyed Peas, Fergie, Stacey Ferguson, 47. From the Social Network and Changeland, Brenda Song is 39. And from According to Tim, Taylor Atelian is 27. Those some of the people who celebrate the 27th day of March as their birthday, and if this happens to be your birthday...
Hi, we're the Four Freshmen, and we just want to say, Happy birthday to you!
And on this Sunday, we go back 75 years, 3/4 of a century, to March 27th, 1947, The Crime Club and Silent Witnesses. I'm Wyatt Cox. Thanks for tuning in to Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox on your favorite radio station.
Are you in bad pain? You know what I mean. Your knees hurt. Your shoulder hurts. Your elbow and back are constantly killing you. And I'm sure you've tried every pain pill or cream available at the drugstore. Am I right? Well, here's something you haven't tried. Pain Magic. Pain Magic is not available at any drugstore. The only place you can get it is by calling the special toll-free number I'm about to give you.
And to make things even better, call right now and find out about our buy one, get one free offer. We're so confident it'll work for you that we offer a free bottle with your purchase. No prescription required.
Call now to learn how you can get Pain Magic and get rid of your pain. Remember, your results may vary.
800-492-8164. 800-492-8164. 800-492-8164. That's 800-492-8164.
Now on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox, we go back 3/4 of a century, 75 years to March 27th, 1947, Mutual's Crime Club, and this episode entitled Silent Witnesses. Answer the phone.
Hello, I hope I haven't kept you waiting. Yes, this is the Crime Club. I'm the librarian. Silent Witnesses. Yes, we have that Crime Club book for you. Come right over. Ah, you're here. Good. Take the easy chair by the window. Comfortable? The book is on this shelf. Here it is, Silent Witnesses, by John Stephen Strange. The very unusual story of a letter that was registered by death. Let's look at it under the reading lamp. It was early evening, and the blizzard that had been going all day gave no sign of blowing itself out. Mary Masterman didn't care. She was home in her upstairs apartment in the quaint two-story building in Greenwich Village. And she was comfortable. Too comfortable, as a matter of fact. Because in the midst of the mystery novel she was reading, the book dissolved on her lap. She dissolved on the sofa. And before long, she was sound asleep.
Barney Gant talking, and I'm not going out on any more assignments today.
Barney.
What? Oh, it's you, Mary. I thought it was my city editor blowing the bugle again. Hi, Precious.
I've got to see you, Barney.
What's the matter, honey?
I don't know, but I'm afraid something terrible has happened.
What?
I don't know how to explain, but I think there's been a murder.
You think?
Yes. Please hurry.
Where's the corpse, Mary?
Corpse, dear?
You said something about a murder, didn't you?
Yes.
Well, where is it?
Barney, are you going to be mad at me?
Now, look, Precious. I'm not going to be.
You're so sweet.
I am hopping mad. Look, what's the idea of making me drive for an hour in that blizzard all the way from the Bronx?
I had to, Barney. I was frightened.
By whom? The mysterious traveler?
I thought I heard 2 shots.
Huh? What's that?
2 pistol shots. They seemed to come from just below.
Frank Vaughan's apartment?
Mm-hmm. But I didn't really hear them.
What?
I was dreaming. I was reading a mystery book, and I fell asleep. And then...
Bing, bang. But it was all a dream.
It must have been.
Aren't you sure?
Oh, yes. After I phoned you, I decided not to be a scary Mary, so I went down to Frank Vaughan's apartment.
And there he was. Oh, how'd you do? And how are you?
Oh, don't be silly. I didn't go in.
Oh, of course not. Why visit a live lawyer?
I didn't even see him.
Huh?
I listened at his door, and I was satisfied. He wasn't moving around the apartment.
How do you know?
What?
How do you know it was Frank Vaughan who was moving around?
Oh, now look, Barney.
Maybe it was a murderer. Oh, Mary, you're lucky.
What do you mean?
Suppose he opened the door and seen you. What then?
Are you trying to frighten me all over again?
You scared me, didn't you? I thought you stepped on an author or something.
You idiot.
No, you idiot.
Do you still love me?
Well, as long as I'm here. Oh, baby.
Darling.
No sugar shortage here. All right. We flirted long enough. Now.
What?
Fix me a drink. Then we'll go downstairs and tell Frank Vaughan about your dream. It ought to kill him for sure.
You must have gone out, Barney.
Yeah. He's even crazier than I am.
What are you doing?
See?
Barney.
Am I surprised? Does he always keep his door unlocked?
Well, how would I know?
I didn't say you should, Mary.
Then why did you ask? Just because Frank and I are the only tenants in this house doesn't mean...
Look out for that table.
I see it. Imagine Frank keeping that window open as though it was summer.
I better close it.
No, let's go back upstairs.
Wait a minute.
We've got no right to be here. Frank isn't home, and besides, I'm cold.
Mary, you said you heard 2 shots.
Oh, not that again. I told you I was dreaming.
You weren't.
What?
That's right, honey. Look at that wall.
A hole.
The kind a bullet makes. Where's my penknife?
What are you going to do?
Dig, baby.
But you can't.
Who says so?
Now listen, Vaughn. Oh.
What's the matter?
Over here by the fireplace.
Blood?
A broken cocktail glass.
Uh-huh. Well, here it is, Precious.
A bullet?
From a .25.
Well, then I wasn't dreaming. Oh, Barney, what happened here tonight?
I don't know, but I want you to do a little thinking.
All right.
Were there 2 shots or only 1?
I can't be sure.
You've got to be.
Well, it seemed like 2, but...
Yeah?
But I was fast asleep, Barney, and if there were 2, where's the other bullet? And where's... Oh!
Get off the edge, Mary. It's only the telephone. Oh. Yes?
Mr. Vaughn?
Uh-huh.
This is Mr. Masson, Thomas Masson.
Yes?
I expected to hear from you today about that offer I made.
Oh, did you?
Now, see here, Mr. Vaughn, I think I've been very generous. You know my stepsister Hilda hasn't got a case against me. She can't possibly break Aunt Helen's last will and testament. It's bona fide.
Then why bother to make offers?
As I told you the other day, I don't want the unpleasantness of a trial in court. And I'm not going to give Hilda the satisfaction of a cash settlement out of court. I'd rather do business with you, privately.
Yes.
Now, think it over. And you don't earn $100,000 every day. Goodbye.
Ouch. Did you hear that, Mary?
I don't believe it, Barney.
You mean 100,000?
I don't believe Frank Vaughan would sell out a client.
He hasn't done it yet, Precious.
He wouldn't even think of it.
Such neighborly faith.
Oh, Barney.
All right. Let's go.
By all means.
We're going uptown to Ted Lassiter's nightclub.
Well, what's there?
Hilda. And when she opens her mouth, some call what comes out singing. I call it, after you, sweetheart. You see Hilda around?
No, but I see Ted Lassiter.
Where?
That corner table.
Oh, yeah. Forward, march. Doesn't look very gay, does he?
Maybe you know what's wrong with him.
Mm-hmm.
What?
Keep your eyebrows on. I'll show you.
Ooh, I'm tingling with excitement.
Shh. I want to surprise him. You want to roll for the club, Ted?
Huh? Who said that?
Hiya, pal.
Oh, what's the idea, Barney?
Just trying you out, that's all.
Well, don't do that again. You newspaper guys. Anything for a laugh, huh?
Anything.
What's he got on you, Ted?
Nothing. Who's been telling you things, Barney?
Rumor hath it, chum, and when rumor hath it in this town, it's practically Winslow.
Yeah. You're a nice kid, Barney.
Thanks.
So don't believe everything you hear.
I'll make a note of that.
And don't talk about what you don't believe.
Sure.
Would one of you mind telling me?
Well, you heard what he just said, Mary. It's a lie.
What's a lie?
The blizzard we left outside. Where's Hilda, Ted?
She's in my office.
Mind if I go in there?
Yeah, she's on the phone.
Oh, that's all right. I won't listen.
That's what I said, Barney. She's talking to her lawyer.
Frank Vaughn?
What kind of drinks you want, kids? On the house.
But Barney, if she's talking to Frank...
Yeah. A scotch and soda, Ted.
I'll get a waiter. How about you, Mary?
Oh, I feel wonderful. How are you?
Well, Barney, is she okay?
Perfect.
Then, what is she trying
You don't
to do?
understand, Ted. We had a terrible scare about Frank. You see, I was home alone, and around 7 o'clock I thought I heard 2 shots in Frank's apartment.
You, what?
But it wasn't 2 shots. It was only 1 shot. Because after Barney came over, we went downstairs and investigated.
Where was Frank?
What? Oh, Hilda.
Was he there?
No, but what's the difference? He's home now.
Is he?
You just spoke to him, didn't you?
No, Mary.
Well, But Hilda, baby, you were in my office half an hour.
There was no answer. You know what it means, Ted.
Maybe.
Those 2 shots Mary heard.
Only 1.
He had that letter Aunt Helen sent me just before she died. He took it home with him tonight. He was going to have a handwriting expert check it.
Maybe he didn't take it after all.
I told you I saw him put it into his briefcase. I was with him in his office up to 5:30, and I left the building with him.
Okay, so the handwriting expert checked it and Frank went out someplace. Now, what's there to worry about?
He didn't phone me, and he said he would. Tom would do anything to get that letter. He'd kidnap or murder.
What was in it, Hilda?
$3 million worth of evidence, Barney. My whole case against Tom.
How about some particulars?
Sure, why not? About a week before Aunt Helen died, that slimy stepbrother of mine got her to sign a paper.
A will?
Yes. She was having one of her bad days, and she didn't know what she was doing. But a couple of days later, she remembered something. The butler and the cook had been present when Tom gave her that paper to sign.
Witnesses?
That's right. And she couldn't understand why. Tom wouldn't tell her, and the servants didn't know. But she was worried. So she wrote that letter telling what happened and got the doctor to mail it to me.
Well, why didn't she give it to you?
I was in Europe. I didn't even know she was dying. By the time I got back to New York,
Come on, now, take it easy, baby.
The will was filed, and all I got was $1. $1! And Tom walked off with the millions. And now he's going to keep them. He's got that letter.
You don't know Hilda.
He's got it, Ted. Not... So long, kiddies.
Where are you going?
Guess.
Your stepbrother?
Of course, it's the logical move.
I'm going with you.
Thanks, Ted, but I can frighten him all by myself.
Just a minute, Hilda.
What is it, Barney?
Your aunt owned a mansion on West 84th Street, didn't she?
Yes. She died there.
Anybody using it now?
Nobody. It's boarded up. Why?
No reason. I was just thinking about the housing shortage. Let's go, Mary. And give my best to your stepbrother, Hilda. And don't shoot without counting the steps to the death house.
You're absolutely crazy, Barney.
Oh, Mary, you say the nicest things.
You'd have to be to believe that Frank's hiding out in that house.
I didn't say I believe it, did I?
Then why are we going there?
To do a routine check. Look, Precious, there's something rotten in this state of Masson versus Masson, and it might be Frank Vaughn.
You're crazy.
Okay by me, but where's Frank?
I don't know. He might be dead.
He might be. Who killed him?
Tom Masson?
Just like that, huh?
Well, he had to get that letter, Barney, or lose $3 million.
There was only 1 shot, Precious, and we found the bullet in the wall.
I'm not so sure about that now.
Huh?
The more I think of it, the more I... Of course, I was asleep. But, darling, even so, would I hear 2 shots if there'd only been 1?
Well,
And that broken cocktail glass and the missing bullet, what do they mean? Those silent witnesses that something dreadful might have happened. Oh, Barney, I don't feel good about it.
That's why we got to keep looking for Frank Vaughn.
All right, but why in that house?
Because it's boarded up and out of circulation. If Tom Masson killed Frank, it'd be an ideal place to park the body. But if he didn't...
Yes. He'd want people to think that Frank had disappeared.
But if he didn't, Mary...
Step on the gas, Barney. We've got to hurry.
I hope you're not disappointed.
What was that?
Hallelujah. And on a night like this... Reach into that glove compartment, Mary, and hand me my flashlight, please.
A blowout?
In more ways than one.
Oh.
Well...
By the way, Barney...
Yes, my adorable one.
Why didn't you tell Hilda about that phone call Tom made?
Is that all you got to offer, Precious?
I just happened to think of it.
Well, if it'll keep you comfortable, darling, It was because she already had murder in her heart, and I didn't want to put it in her hands. Come on, honey.
Here's something we didn't think of, Barney. How do we get into a house that's boarded up?
That's easy. Show me a keyhole, and I'll show you a way to get in. And there it is, the front door. No boards.
I still don't see how you're going to do it.
Live and learn, honey. And there's so much to do with both. Watch now. I take this pass key, pass it into the keyhole, give a turn like this, and presto!
Oh, full of tricks, aren't you? You can get into a lot of trouble doing such things.
Not such things, honey. Come on, let's get out of the store.
I wonder what they'll find. From 75 years ago, March 27th, 1947, Mutual's Crime Club on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. The news from 75 years ago follows these important messages.
Are you suffering with arthritis or osteoporosis? Do you have diabetes? Did you know that these are just 2 of the hundreds of diseases that have seen improvement with Dr. Wallach's incredible longevity products? You can't get them at a health food store. The only way to get them is to call us at 800-214-0065. That's 800-214-0065. Do you have heart disease, fibromyalgia, or high blood pressure? Do you have a terrible time losing weight? Dr. Wallach can help. He was a veterinarian and cured diseases in animals. He felt that he could do the same for humans, so he became a physician. Over 50 years of research and helping people like you goes into every bottle of Dr. Wallach's amazing discoveries. Do you want to feel better? Learn how to treat the cause of your problem rather than covering up the symptoms with drugs. Call 800-214-0065. That's 800-214-0065.
Thanks for tuning in on this Sunday edition of Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox here on your favorite radio station, an episode of the Crime Club, as it was originally broadcast on Thursday, March 27th, 1947, in the newspapers of that Thursday 75 years ago. These were some of the headlines. Fears that the death toll of Tuesday's mine explosion in Centralia, Illinois, it ultimately would reach 111, intensified as the bodies of 18 more miners brought up the shaft of the Centralia Coal Company's No. 5 mine. The recovery of these victims brought to 35 the number of known dead and left 76 still trapped below. A rescue squad leader gave those pinned underground no chance at all. Representative Engel, the congressman Republican from Michigan, protested to the House today that the GOP bill cutting income taxes gives the biggest tax relief to those who made the biggest profits during the war. The Michigan Republican raised his voice against the bill as the House drove toward apparently assured passage this afternoon of the $4 trillion bill. He said he was not against tax cuts, but wanted to give the low-income group a break, and predicted unless fog is cleared from the brains of some of our Republican leaders, they will find themselves once more a minority party when the next election rolls around. Soviet Foreign Minister V.M. Molotov agreed tonight to consider as a basis for discussion a French proposal to define German assets in Austria. This raised hope the Council of Foreign Ministers might untangle this major complication in the framing of Austria's treaty. The Russians up to now have held that any German assets in the eastern zone of Austria belong to them without question, and that no definition was necessary of just what these assets are. Dwight P. Griswold, an American military government official, asserted today that unless the German economy was revived and the standard of living improved, efforts to re-educate the Germans to democracy, quoting, will in all likelihood fail, and Germany will once more fall into the ways of totalitarianism. Alabama school teachers asked Governor James E. Folsom today to call a special session of the legislature to consider educational financial problems. Langley Collier, the 61-year-old recluse whose disappearance after the death of his brother Homer, 65, led to a search of his junk-packed house is presumed by police to be dead. The presumption is largely a legal one because the hunt for the younger brother still is underway in the jam-packed rooms of the 3-story brownstone house on once fashionable Upper Fifth Avenue. Langley Collier last seen last Thursday, the day before his brother was found dead of heart disease at the house. Police moved yesterday to clarify legal aspects of the search, which has necessitated removal of tons of junk from the house after Collier relative protested that items of value were being discarded. A warning that the American freedom of the press is in danger given by a commission of educators and others in Chicago who have just finished a 3-year study of the question. The commission, headed by Robert M. Hutchins, Chancellor of the University of Chicago, made the statement in a book, A Free and Visible Press, published by the University of Chicago Press, including newspapers, radio, motion pictures, magazines, and books in its definition of press. It said the crisis today is, quote, simply a stage in the long struggle for free expression, and that freedom will not be swept away overnight, end quote. The danger, it said, and quoting again, is in part to the consequence of the economic structure of the press, in part the consequence of the industrial organization of modern society, and in part the result of the failure of the directors of the press to recognize the press needs a modern nation and accept the responsibilities which those needs impose on them. Fire apparently starting in a storage room swept through the mechanical departments of the Springfield, Missouri Newspapers Incorporated. Composing room and press room gutted. None of the heavy equipment was saved. And those some of the day's top news stories as reported in the newspapers of Thursday, March 27th, 1947, on your radio, The Crime Club and Silent Witnesses, the conclusion of which you'll hear next on this Sunday Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox on your favorite radio station.
No offense, but are you a little fat when you look in the mirror? How would you like to learn the secrets to lose 3 to 5 pounds a week easily without joining the gym or going through any crazy diets? It's called Body Sculpt by Med Diet. For the last 2 decades, we've been helping people just like you that have pounds they want to shed. We've helped millions of people lose thousands and thousands of pounds over the years. And now it's your turn. Learn the secrets of how to lose weight with one simple phone call. You'll see an amazing difference in a matter of days. Don't believe us? We'll offer you a money-back guarantee. If you're ready to start losing weight right now, call right now to learn more about your risk-free order to Body Sculpt.
Call for your risk-free offer. 800-738-5332. 800-738-5332. 800-738-5332. That's 800-738-5332.
On Monday's Classic Radio Theater, the program that got me really interested in science fiction, X-1 and a Pail of Air from 66 years ago, March 28, 1956, a story about the last family left on a frozen earth. That'll be coming up on tomorrow's Classic Radio Theater, but right now the conclusion of Crime Club, Silent Witnesses from 75 years ago, March 27th, 1947.
Oh, hand me my flashlight. Thanks.
Nice and warm in here.
Yeah. Almost as though we're being lived in.
That does smell like coal heat, doesn't it?
Uh-huh. Let's look around. That room over there first. That should be the living room.
I'm beginning not to like this very much, Barney.
Oh, you'll get over it. Just as soon as we... Ah, it is the living room. Mm-hmm. So this is how the 10% live.
When they're living.
Okay. Let's try the rest of the house.
Barney!
Hey!
You've been locked in!
Let us out! We know you're here, Frank Bourne. You'll never get away with it, you know.
Don't wear yourself out, Barney.
Yeah, but we're trapped. Well, don't you care?
You still have the pass key.
Oh, sure. I was just about to think of it myself. Precious little pass key.
Well, Barney, open it.
I can't.
But don't be silly. You opened the outside door.
Yes, honey, but it's not working on this one.
Well, now what do we do? The window's boarded up and that door... Couldn't you break it down?
That hunk of timber? Oh, I'm good, Precious, but not that good. Yeah. Frank Vaughan's a nice guy. He wouldn't sell out a client. Not much.
That could have been Tom Masson out there, Barney.
Sure. He was just waiting for us to get here.
Barney.
What is this between you and Frank Vaughan?
Barney, don't you smell something?
You bet I do. I smell a rat, and
Nothing like coal gas?
Yeah.
Well, where's it coming from?
I'll let you know in a minute. That hot air vent.
Somebody's trying to kill us.
You're not kidding. And whoever's fooling around with that furnace isn't kidding either.
Good night, Joseph.
Good night, Mr. Madison, sir.
Turn a corner and look what you meet.
Hilda.
Hello, Tom.
What are you doing here?
Cute, aren't you? Let's go to your apartment.
I have nothing to say to you.
Really?
Now, look here, Hilda.
After you, Tom.
All right. But if you think you're going to bully me the way you've
Step along, little man, or this gun will have something to say to you. I'm still after you.
Very well.
You're so rich now, you can afford to go out and leave the lights on.
Not your money, Hilda.
Where's the letter?
Letter?
The one Aunt Helen wrote me. I sent you a photostatic copy. So don't pretend to look as innocent as you look.
Oh, do you want that copy now?
I want the original.
No.
Frank Vaughan had it and you took it.
This is too good to be true. So you've lost your case.
The letter, Tom.
I haven't got it.
Don't lie to me. Somehow you found out that Frank was going to take it home and have it checked.
Did I?
You murdered him and stole that letter.
Really, you're slightly out of your mind.
I'm going to kill you, Tom.
Now, look here, Hilda. Frank Vaughan was your lawyer. I had nothing to do with him except through my lawyer. I never even spoke to the man.
I want that letter, Tom.
You don't believe me. Well, how can I convince you?
Don't even try.
You'd be a fool to shoot me, Hilda. Everyone knows how much you hate me.
Nobody knows how much I really hate you.
Even if you manage to get out of this building, you'll be arrested sooner or later. Neither of us will have the money. Hilda, listen to me.
What for?
I'll make a deal with you. Give you $100,000.
Of my money?
Aunt Helen left it to me. It's in her will.
Who do you think you're kidding?
I don't care about that letter. You can't prove that Aunt Helen wrote it.
No? Is that why you killed Frank Vaughan?
I didn't. Didn't even know he was dead.
Oh, a snake can take lessons from you.
I'll give you $250,000.
All I want's the letter.
But I told you...
And I told you I don't believe it. Well?
All right.
Where is it?
I'll get it for you. Let's have a drink first.
What for?
To celebrate your victory. Won't take a minute. What would you like?
Nothing. From you.
Oh, come now, Hilda. How about some brandy and soda? Now you give me that gun.
I'll give it to you.
It was very foolish, Hilda. What will the neighbors think?
Oh, my wrist.
That's better. Now, Hilda, you wanted to know about a letter. I haven't got it. And I'm awfully sorry I had to ruin that beautifully made-up face of yours.
Just another minute, Mary. I'll have these boards off the window.
Hurry, Barney. Coal gas.
Oh, there's some air coming in the window. It's a good thing you thought of that. Fireplace, great. How about a weapon? There. We're through. Oh. Come on, now, let's get out of here.
Oh, you don't have to ask me twice. Oh, did you ever see such a lovely blizzard?
Up to it, kid. We got a lot of work to do.
Oh, no. No, don't tell me we're going back into that house the front way.
Not this team. There'll be anybody here to go back for.
What do you mean?
Whoever tried to kill us is far, far away by now.
You didn't say it was Frank Vaughan, Barney.
No? I must be slipping.
You wouldn't be changing your mind about him, would you?
Oh, look, honey, right now I'm too tired to change anything.
What's the matter?
Let's get back to Frank's apartment and see if he's taken anything for a change.
His toothbrush is here.
Yeah, and shaving things. Mary, there's something funny here.
Is there?
Yeah, the brush is still damp.
So?
And the razor. There's soap on it. Hand me that towel, will you, please?
All right, but what's the rumpus about?
It's dry. It's a fresh towel, too.
Barney, would you mind telling me...
I was just wondering, Mary. Frank was a pretty neat guy.
Was?
He wouldn't leave dirty stuff lying around. None of it wasn't his habit.
Barney, if you're saying that Frank was murdered...
I'm only thinking, precious. Let's go into the living room. Frank was expecting somebody tonight. Well, why bother shaving?
Well, Hilda told us, the handwriting expert.
Uh-huh. But would I shave for a handwriting expert? Oh, I would shave if I were expecting a beautiful woman.
Hilda?
Why not? How do we know that she was really trying to get Frank Vaughn on the phone?
We don't.
Might have been an act to impress Ted Lassiter, just in case she might need an alibi.
But I don't get it. Why should she kill her own lawyer?
I didn't say she did, Mary, but suppose she found out that there was going to be a deal, that she was going to lose that letter.
I don't believe it. I don't believe Frank Vaughn was...
Yeah, I know. He wouldn't sell out a client. But there's a possibility that he was going to. Then Hilda came here and killed him out of sheer venom and took back her letter.
And then what did she do with his body? Make a hocus-pocus until it evaporated?
Yeah, well, that's what I don't understand. Is Frank Vaughn alive and somewhere, or is he dead and... Mary.
I'm listening.
A little while ago, you said something about silent witnesses.
Yes. The broken cocktail glass and the bullet in the wall and the missing second bullet.
How about that open window?
Well, what about it?
This is a ground floor apartment, and that window faces the backyard. It's possible, Mary. It's just possible.
What are you doing?
Climbing out. Turn on all the lamps, will you, honey? I want plenty of light.
But Barney!
Mary, the lamp.
All right, but I know you're crazy. I just know it. I'll never believe what you're thinking. We couldn't have been running all over town while he was... Barney? Barney!
Stay away from the window, Mary. Yeah. Buried in the snow. In his own backyard.
But, Barney, of all the places to leave him...
Maybe that...
In snow.
Well, maybe that's all the killer needed.
But in a couple of weeks...
Somebody had to make it look as though Frank had disappeared. Somebody who had a lot to do in a little time. Shh.
Hello?
Oh, hello, Mr. Thomas Manson.
Yes?
This is Frank Vaughn.
What?
I decided to make that deal with you. Come down to my apartment and bring that...
But, Mr. Vaughn, I
You still want that letter, don't you?
Well, certainly, but I...
All right, then. Bring the money. $100,000. That was the price, wasn't it?
Well,
Have you changed your mind?
I don't know what to say. But if you wish to talk to me, I'll pay you a visit. I'll be there in an hour.
Thank you. Goodbye. That's that. You're a pretty cagey guy. He knows something.
Is he coming?
So he said. We'll see. If he doesn't show up, then we'll know he knows we know. Or somebody knows. Now for suspect number 2. And such a cute little suspect.
Hello. Ted Lassiter talking.
Good evening, Mr. Lassiter. May I speak with Hilda Mason, please?
Okay. Who's calling?
Her attorney, Frank Vaughn.
Who?
Frank Vaughn. I promised to call Miss Mason about a certain report, but I was detained. Will you put her on, please?
Certainly, but she's doing a song number now. You want me to give her a message?
If you don't mind. Tell her to come to my apartment. It's very important.
I'll do that.
Thank you. Goodbye.
How lovely. Now all we've got to do is wait. And worry.
You stay here in the kitchen, Mary.
But why, Barney? You said the killer wouldn't come.
I've been fooled before, and I don't want you... Will you do as I say, please? I can't keep our visitor waiting.
All right, but you're cheating.
Be right with you. Sorry to have kept you...
Hello, Barney.
Ted.
You thought you fooled me, didn't you? You ought to take lessons in voice disguise.
Ted Lassiter.
Back away from that door, pal.
Sure, but you don't have to point that gun right at me. I can have just as much respect for it if it were looking somewhere else.
Yeah? Where's the girl?
Mary? She's upstairs in her apartment.
You don't say.
She was very tired, and tomorrow is just another working day, you know.
You don't mind if I look around, do you?
How can I mind? But she would be in that kitchen. She's got a kitchen of her own upstairs, and it's very, very cute.
Yeah. Well, I'll have to go up there and see it sometime. Okay, I'll search the rest of the apartment when I get through with you. Well, sit down, Barney.
Do I have to?
Well, I want you to be comfortable. You're a pal. You tip me off to things before the cops find out.
How do you know the cops didn't find out?
Where are they, Barney?
Well,
they'd be all over the place if they knew, and they aren't. They're not even hiding.
All right, Ted. You're going to kill me.
You were a nice guy, Barney.
Wait. Every dying man is allowed one last request. Will you tell me...
Why did I kill Frank Vaughn?
No, I just figured that out for myself.
Yeah? Well, that's good.
You dropped $50,000 in a dice game. The boys gave you 30 days to pay up, but they wanted collateral.
You got a nose for news, Barney. It's too bad it's going to be cold.
So you put up your nightclub. And then tonight, Hilda told you that Frank had taken that letter home to have it checked.
You're not wrong.
And that letter was worth a lot of blackmail money.
So I took it. Is that all, pal?
One last request. Did you collect on it?
Not yet.
Who are you going to talk to about it, Hilda or Tom Masson?
Tom. He's got the dough. Why bother with outsiders?
Then Hilda and Tom didn't know that you got it?
No. But Tom's going to find out tomorrow.
Oh, well. By the way, Ted, how'd you get that key to that house on 84th Street?
I borrowed it from Hilda's dressing room. Well, any more questions?
Yeah. Just one more. Nice work, Mary. You knocked him cold.
Oh, catch me, Barney. I'm going to faint.
Oh, hey, you can't do that, honey.
I never hit a man with a bottle full of soda before.
Well, you couldn't have picked a better time, precious. Oh, you wonderful microbe. Where were you when Ted looked in the kitchen?
I was under the table.
What?
And, Barney, that's where I want to be from now on.
And so closes tonight's Crime Club book, Silent Witnesses, based on a story by John Stephen Strange. Stedman Coles did the radio adaptation. Roger Bauer produced and directed. Chet Stratton played Barney Gant. Sharita Bauer was Mary Masterman. Arthur Vinton was Ted Lassiter. Julie Stevens was Hilda Masson. And Ted Osborne played Tom Masson. Oh, I beg your pardon. Hello, I hope I haven't kept you waiting. Yes, this is the Crime Club. I'm the librarian. Yes, come over a week from tonight. Good. We have a very exciting story of a ghost that haunted like murder. It's called The Sun is a Witness by Aaron Mark Stein. In the meantime? Well, in the meantime, there is a new Crime Club book available this week and every week at bookstores everywhere. Yes, it's available now. Fine. And we look for you next week. Oh, yes. Do you know any young American who doesn't like to play ball and take hikes in the woods with a gang? Sure, they all like it. But what about the youngster in his wheelchair? He'd like it most of all. But it's not for him. He needs special teachers, medical care, and a camp planned for disabled kids, if he's to have his chance to grow into a useful citizen. You can give him this chance through Easter seals sent to you by your neighbors during the month before Easter. It's new life and hope for disabled children. Don't forget them. Don't neglect them. Buy and use Easter seals.
This program came from New York. This is the Mutual Broadcasting System.
March 27th, 1947, The Crime Club on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Please visit our webpage, classicradio.stream. There you can stream our shows on demand, learn more about classic radio collecting, and contact me there, classicradio.stream. If you miss a day, you do not have to miss a single episode of Classic Radio Theater. You can find our shows not only at classicradio.stream, but at iHeartRadio, Spotify, Spreaker, TuneIn, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcast, or Amazon's Audible app. Just search for Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. That's Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Please thank this radio station. Support their advertisers. It's their kindness and courtesy that we're here each and every Sunday on your favorite station. And tell all your friends the great radio shows are right here at this spot on the dial. Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox on your favorite radio station.